Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessler, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, the day of the week that we turn our production time back to 10 p.m. London time to go ahead and give a night of disclosure for our friends across the pond. Yes, we've got a big show ahead of us today. A lot of things going on. I didn't think there were, but you know what? Thank God for disclosure. On that note, let's go ahead and see who's in the audience and welcome them in. We've got Amiga Rules is out there in the chat along with Andy W. I see Bob Lazar. Craig Smith is here along with Eli McGinnis. Don G just popped in along with Liza Teal. We've got Eric Roth and the Gurus. Eversource here along with Firefly. The old Lucy in the football. Frank Cathel's here along with Frazzle Says. Gaynor Andrews is in the audience along with JB, Joey Stoner, Kelly Broat with those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly, as always. We've got Larry Jones, Maritime Unprepared. Megan Betts is here along with Mr. Catfish, Yerpity Yerp, 2100. Good to see you, Catfish. Mr. Joey B is here. Roni Deal, Rusty Door, Sage Pup Sam, Steve Hines, and Super Unknown are also in the chat. Remember, the chat is where it's at. It's a fun time, my friend. You should join. Who else do we have out there? We've got Terrence Bruce, Super Unknown. The Stone Avengers just popped in. Good to see you, my friend. Just don't cough too loud. The Chromosome Cowboys here along with the Coin 405. Twiggy, Two Midgets on a Horse, and Wee Beastie. How about that? We got a full audience, a lot of stuff to talk about today. Let me jump right into the studio and welcome our dear friend Mike. And Mike, how the heck you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. It seems like we have another interesting show for our international audience on this Saturday afternoon. And there's a lot of things that we're going to cover to the audience.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun talk.
Oh, I think so, my friend. You know, the first topic we're going to be talking about today is the SanDiego Sphere. While a lot of people have not heard of it before, they've all heard of the Buga sphere bullshit that's going out there. You know, the spheres that are, dangling by a wire, and at least a lot of the videos. This one goes back to September 10th, 2014, when Rick Ybarra pulled into his driveway near San Diego around 6:45 p.m. He noticed a sphere in the sky. A retired Department of Defense therapist who worked at Naval Base San Diego and Submarine Base Point Loma, who was recently spoke to about the sighting back when this video was created. The sphere had 4 key observables. We've got a whole video on this one. It's not one of those 15-second videos that are 15-second videos that are out there. There's a clip we'll be playing in the background during the show that goes a heck of a lot longer. Let's go ahead and get into it. Where is it at? Let's find it. All right, so not those. Let's move it down. Yes, the SanDiego Sphere had 4 key observables. 1, it could stop and start movement on a dime, and it failure to move with the wind. It had a metallic appearance. There was no sound coming from the sphere, and it's a really interesting story. Since spheres are the in thing these days, we have exclusive rights to, from It's Redacted to go ahead and show this to our audience here today, actually to their full catalog. We'll be exploring some more of their content later on throughout the years, especially in August as things get so quiet. So on that note, let's jump into the theater, kick it up, and let's thank Jake Mann from It's Redacted for giving us the ability to go ahead and play their content. Let's jump to the start, and I think you guys will be impressed. Here we go.
So keeping my eyes on it, I walked around to the side of my house so that this object was between my house and slightly over my neighbor's house as well, probably about 300-400 feet in the air. The object, as I studied it, appeared to be about 4 to 6 foot in diameter. And I watched it for a couple of minutes. I
go back no so you
sound.
See this.
I could see the object floating almost as if it was in water. It would rise up and down just slightly and sway back and forth a little bit. And it had what appeared to be something coming down from the bottom. I thought perhaps it was a balloon. And then the more I looked at it, the more I could see faintly some windows or a stripe going around the center of this sphere. And I decided, well, it hadn't gone away after 2 or 3 minutes, so I thought I'd take a chance, run inside, grab my camera, a Nikon, came out, set it up on a tripod, and started taking photographs of it.
That was Rick Ibarra. On September 10th, 2014, Rick pulled into his driveway around 6:45 p.m. when he noticed a sphere in the sky. A retired Department of Defense therapist who worked at Naval Base San Diego and Submarine Base Point Loma, we recently spoke to him about the sighting.
So keeping my eyes on it, I walked around to the side of my house so that this object was between my house and slightly over my neighbor's house as well, probably about 300-400 feet in the air. The object, as I studied it, appeared to be about 4 to 6 foot in diameter, and I watched it for a couple of minutes, anticipating that it would fly away or do something different.
Rick next grabbed his camera and tripod and snapped these. The metadata matches his account, showing the images were taken over a half-hour period during twilight. ISO settings and exposure times go up accordingly. Illumination on the right side of the object also matches Rick's statement that he was facing south. Light from post-sunset appears reflective off the object's metallic surface. We asked about the possibility this was influenced by the wind.
While I was watching this, the wind was minimal. I would say we had a breeze of probably about 5 miles an hour. It was coming off the west because that's in San Diego in the late afternoons and evenings. We have the coastal winds come off the ocean and blow inland, and it keeps things cool here. So the light breeze that was coming through was just enough to rustle the leaves on the tree, but not much else. As the object in the air was floating, it drifted south. So it was, I would say, not really blowing, or rather, it wasn't really moving against the wind, but it wasn't moving with the wind either. And it didn't seem to be, wind wasn't really anything that was in play as the way the object was moving.
We also asked about the possibility this was a balloon on a tether.
So as I was looking at this, I noticed what appeared to be some kind of a line or tether coming down from the bottom. And as I looked at the video footage and blew up enlarged one of the photos that I took, I noticed that there were actually 3 antennae coming from it, one left, one right, one on the bottom. And the antenna extended approximately 2 feet, I think 2 feet in either direction, the left, right, and the bottom. Nothing that I could see on the top. And the surface of the object appeared to be metallic. The antenna appeared to be independently moving because I think if they were blowing with the wind, they would have been blowing or moving in the same direction. But these antennae were moving in different directions, almost as if they were arms that were waving. And the one on the bottom wasn't really moving much at all. The ones on the left and the right were the ones that were moving the most, kind of independently of each other.
He took 12 minutes of video on digital tape, ending the footage when the object had moved too far away to record in low light or see with the naked eye.
The camera's not able to focus on it.
He told us something else.
Afterwards, I noticed that my neighbor was outside playing with his children. And so the next day I went over and asked him if he noticed anything. And he told me that he did look up in the sky, he noticed something, but he didn't pay much attention to it, continued playing with his kids. Since then, I've asked him a couple of times about this object, and he has a vague recollection, but he has no real details and didn't find anything of interest to really talk about.
We're keeping his address private for obvious reasons, but he did share information about nearby air traffic. A local civilian airport is 5 miles away, and the Marine Corps Air Station at Miramar is 10 miles away. Important to mention, he does have a military background. For 10 years, he says he worked at 2 area Navy bases as a marriage and family therapist, employed by the Department of Defense. And the next 18 years in a similar role with the Marine Corps Recruit Depot near San Diego International Airport. To the best of our ability, we verified what we could about his educational background. Military therapist records are not public, nor are they digitized. Rick told us he shared the video of the sphere with his chain of command. They were, quote, awestruck by the footage and didn't offer any explanation at all. Unfortunately, some quality loss occurred when the footage was transferred from the 720 resolution video camera. And the video is all most people know about this case, which is why we wanted to add the photos and witness testimony to public record. If this is a genuine unidentified aerial phenomenon, it is one of the best documented outside official military channels. GATR Technologies, a subsidiary of San Diego-based Cubicor, does manufacture inflatable satellite antenna spheres. They have contracts with the U.S. Army and Special Operations Command. But they are not metallic and not airborne, nor are they capable of flight. We also found an uncanny resemblance to a sighting decades earlier. August 1968. Brazilian Air Force files show a merchant in Sao Paulo witnessed a metallic globe with rainbow-like streaks. It is surrounded by a ridge with 2 antennae moving laterally in the sky until it disappeared. A year later, a similar-looking object with a bigger central mass appeared above a football field. The antennae were lit up, witnesses said. In 1973, U.S. Navy men saw this object in northwest Australia. Similar features, minus the antenna. Speaking to us, Rick mentioned something else, a possible second sighting.
A few days later, probably close to about 4 or 5 days later, I was getting ready to go to work, and this was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting ready, and I was in my bedroom, and I felt an urge to go outside. Now, I never go outside. I have a deck outside my bedroom, and I felt an urge to go outside. When I went outside, off in the distance, I saw this object, and it could have been a bird, but at the same time, it flew straight across the sky, horizontally from east to west, and it was only in my vision for probably 5 seconds, and it moved very fast, but at the same time, it looked spherical.
Before this episode, we gauged viewer opinions on the SanDiego Sphere. Many believed it deserved to be ruled unidentified, but a few thought it was a balloon. It's interesting that as Rick analyzed the object, he slowly went away from any terrestrial hypothesis because of 4 things: stop-start movement, failure to move with the wind, metallic appearance, seemingly independent moving antenna-like appendages. We've read hundreds of Project Blue Book case files by now. Taking a page from their method of analyzing witnesses, Rick is a credible observer for 2 reasons: his background and lack of desire to promote this. He reported it to MUFON, NewFork, and uploaded the video to YouTube, and he was done. Nowhere has he tried to monetize his experience, or even share all of his photos. We had to seek him out, and felt his story deserved exposure after his video was being shared online with no context. What do you think? Is this one of the best modern UFO cases? Does the SanDiego Sphere deserve to be called unidentified? Or not? Let us know your opinion in the comments. And special thanks to our patrons, including Plunk Skills. There's more to do with this sighting, including cross-referencing all unmanned aircraft reports from nearby airports. We're going to do more of this, so if you like it, consider joining us on Patreon and help.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Mike, great episode, my friend, from It's Redacted. And unfortunately, the crew of It's Redacted, I can't talk about because where they've gone to work is confidential, and I guess we could say it's redacted.
Yeah. Pardon the pun.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great
No,
documentarians. They've got a lot of great videos we're going to be covering and just going over some of this classic footage that's out there because there's no one who could do stuff like the team of Jake Mann and his wife, I believe. Yeah.
No, they've done some really great work on covering this. What I find interesting is the area where this occurred,
Yeah.
San Diego. That's exactly where the '04 Tic Tac incident took place.
Right. I mean, they're down by Point Loma Naval Air Station. That's where, if you want to call it, the USS Nimitz was based out of. So yeah, it's that hot spot, that hotbed of area that is in the air, that's near San Diego, that for some reason attracts a lot of UFOs. I wonder if it could be the nuclear power craft, Mike.
Well, that could be part of it, Thomas. But I also believe that San Diego and near Guadalupe Island, which is near Catalina, that's been a known hotspot for decades now. So, yeah, there's something there, obviously, that's going on in these areas.
What I'm showing here now, Mike, let me get us up in the other view so we can go ahead and talk about this as we're showing it. Oh, not the TV. I want to get the video full, guys, bigger. All right, here we go. Let me fix this. The green screen. This is the original unenhanced version. It's a 12-minute video, Mike. So a lot of times we'll go ahead and see these sightings of the sphere. It goes on for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds if we're lucky at the most. This thing we have a recording on that goes on for well over, 12 minutes. This is the original resolution tape of the unidentified sphere above Rick Ibarra's backyard in 2014. And Jake did speak with him, back in 2020, explained that he used to be an employee with the DoD, like we have talked about. So, you don't see footage like this of UFOs in such great detail that often. Let me go ahead and zoom in on that just a bit to make it easier for people to see.
And he was using a 720p camera.
Well, that's all we had in 2020.
I know.
Actually, no, this wasn't in 2020. This is 2014. So in 2014, yeah, you're lucky it's either 720p. Maybe if you're lucky, you'd have 1080i.
Right. So he had some really good equipment for the time.
Absolutely. It looks like, Andy, you have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether you can put Pixie on it.
Well, I can zoom in. I mean, not that one. I can go ahead and zoom, not on Zio, but I can go ahead and zoom in on it as much as we need to. Yeah. It just gets a little blurry because there's only so much detail that's available to go ahead and see.
Right, yeah, it's. I find it really interesting. It's got that black band that's like, it's not a solid band, is it?
It's not a solid band. It looks like in one of the pictures that I saw. Let's see if I don't have that up here anymore. It looks like it's a row of actual little squares. Let me see if I can find the image that I captured that I used for the title card of today's show. Let me get that out of there and see if I can bring this up. Here we go.
Kind of
Here's a better example of it. You can see that it's got a whole bunch of little windows. And as it's there, it's actually rotating independently of it moving.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of a Mosel orb.
Yeah, it does.
I know that the quality on that footage wasn't amazing, but this is a better quality. Obviously, the Mosel orb, they got much better footage of it that they've not released.
Yeah.
So.
Someone in the audience asks, is it a silver painted weather balloon? Yeah, but it's remaining stationary in Winslow and potentially moving against the wind. So would a weather balloon do that untethered?
No.
Not really.
No, and it wouldn't have independently moving antenna or whatever the hell those things are.
And the wind doesn't, exactly what they're saying in the chat right now, that the wind doesn't do that rotation. It's rotating independently of what's going on. Not sure, this is the first time actually, Mike, this isn't the first time we've seen antennas on things. Think about the little, what do you call it, like, oh God, the little L-shaped appendages on the bottom of the Tic Tacs that are, of course, seen in that area as well.
Right. So it's something I believe is anomalous.
Yeah.
Can't be explained.
You know, Peter Tremulous said it could be tethered, but on the photos and everything else that there were higher resolution that were shown during the original video, when he brought out his Nikon camera on a tripod, thank God he thought about that one, there's no tether to be seen. Well, and in some of the videos that we've seen of the Buga sphere in the past, Mike, when they do an analysis of it, they can see a string that's actually holding the Buga sphere in place.
Especially at the height that this object is at, you would see a tether.
Oh, yeah. And again, how long the footage is, 12 minutes. How many orb videos have you seen? Or any UFO videos that go on for so long?
Not publicly, we haven't.
No. And if the DOD has them, they definitely don't want to release it. And he is actively trying to keep this thing in focus, zoomed in at the distance that it's at.
Right. So, listen, he's educated. He has a credible background with the military.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very credible witness.
And he even brought it to the military, to where he worked, and they couldn't give him any answer on what the hell he was saying.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is an interesting story.
Yeah.
Good video. And it was great work done by Itsudaki.
And it ties into what we've seen over Mosul in the past. There's been a bunch of videos from the Middle East that I've heard about. There's plenty of action coming there from the same guy who told me about the, he was dealing with the Tic Tacs back in 2014.
Right.
2004, not 2014. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah.
Well, this video is from 2014, so it's easy to confuse.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
I got you. It's called ADD, my friend. It is a talent and a hindrance at the same time.
Yeah.
But it looks different, of course, than any of the spheres we've seen because of those windows, or whatever you want to call it, that are going around the actual perimeter of the sphere. Better yet, we don't see, there's maybe something at the bottom, but what we're not seeing, Mike, any of those hokey decorations that were added after the fact, like coming from Jaime Maussan and his crew.
Right. Thank God for that.
Oh, yeah.
So that means it's not bogus. It's not a scam.
No.
It's an actual anomalous object that we're looking at in this video.
Oh, yeah. And I just wanted to get this out there. This is, something I've had in the back of my mind for a while, and as things have been getting slow in disclosure, everyone's been talking about spheres, but they never look back to this particular event that went on and the extensive footage that's out there from it.
Right. Oh, it's good video. It's good video footage.
Oh, you're
and
telling
a
me,
good
my
interview
friend.
that was done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anything else from the chat? Yeah, I think, you know what? Should we do a survey, Mike?
Yes, please.
All right, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, where is that at? It should be a plus that... Am I in the wrong window? It should be. I should be able to go ahead and do a... Am I in the wrong window? Something... I've forgotten how to do a survey, Mike, or... surveys are not on right now from Google. You gotta be freaking kidding me, right? No? Oh, there it is. Here we go. I refreshed it. We've got it back. Let's go ahead and start a poll on that note. Let's, what is the question we're going to ask? Is the SanDiego Sphere more believable than the Buga sphere, or what?
No, is it a UAP or not?
All right, simple enough. Let's go ahead and get that sound effect up that we always play while we've got things up and going. Where did my sound effect go? On that note, let me just go ahead and bring it up here. I'll find it in a second. Let's go ahead and wrong window, of course, Thomas. Man, what is wrong with you today? It's like you're skipping a beat. On that note, let me go ahead and find where our sound effects went, and I can't find them. Let me restart them, or they were. All right, so let's start this. Hey, Google, Set a timer for 1 minute and 25 seconds, please.
Sure. 1 minute and 25 seconds.
All right,
We're starting now.
all right, audience, this is your chance to go ahead and vote. What do you think? Is the SanDiego Sphere a UAP? So far, Mike, we've got 58 votes in. They came in pretty quickly, with 75% of our audience down to 72% of our audience saying, yes, it is a UAP. 20% of our audience currently is saying no, up to 30, 70, 30 split. Come on, folks. This is your opportunity to go ahead and vote and decide how Disclosure tonight feels about this video. Would you look at that? We got our first super chat of the day in today. I want to go ahead and thank Wes Decker. Are we voting on balls? Yes, but we're not voting. That's the Wes Decker I know.
Yes.
Yes, from the man who gave us Avi Lube. That was Wes Decker, my friends. Are we voting on Avi's little balls? No, we're voting on the Buga Sphere. Not the Buga Sphere, the SanDiego Sphere. How about that? We're still at a 70-30 split. We're going up. Well, Mike, I don't think in the 19 seconds we have left, with just 86 votes in, can we hit 90? Maybe. We're at 72%, 28%. The yeses look like they've got it, Mike. Are you surprised?
Yeah, listen, 2/3 of the audience is believing it's a UAP, and you know, the other portion is not real. Oh, it's like almost a quarter, a little more than a quarter of the audience.
Well, we're at a final numbers. We're at a 70-30 split.
There you go.
Yeah, which is an overwhelming majority of our audience.
Yeah.
Says,
they believe it's a UAP. Yeah.
You know, and our friends over at It's Redacted would never have put this out there if this wasn't something that had a high level of credibility. I'll just say that, for that matter.
Well, I think that the witness and the footage speaks for itself.
Oh, yeah, you're telling me, my friend. Let's jump back into the studio. Yeah, we were up having a good time on Twitter last night. Actually, we have multiple people who want to join the show. Let's admit all. There you go. Everyone's in. All right, we've got it. Welcome to the show, my friends. All right, now let's go ahead and get rid of this video off my panel here, where I go ahead and get everything ready to show to the audience. Yeah, Mike, there's been a lot of conversation coming up last night in the late hours regarding the executive branch and a push for disclosure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from Matt Laszlo talking to, I believe, Eric Burleson.
Yeah, so let's get to Eric Burleson first, and then we'll get into Robert Malone. Who's Robert Malone? Talking about RFK Jr.? Well, he's the guy who actually invented our mRNA vaccines, who said, no, don't use it. Don't get it. Oh, and I got some interesting things about the UK we'll get into as well. So let's get to Matt Laszlo and Ask a Poll UAPs. He's trying to pin down Eric Burleson with regarding the White House NHI briefing. Let's see what Matt Laszlo is able to get out of this gaggle with Eric Burleson. Let me bring this up for us now. Where do I go? Here we go. Let's get to it. All right. Coming to us from Ask a Poll UAPs. Yeah, we're going to have to give some subscriptions to Matt Laszlo as well. He's a great guy, and we'll cover his stuff. It's exactly. So where's it at? Let's get to about 30 seconds in, because that's about where Matt's intro ends, and let's go ahead and play it.
A White House briefing on NHI.
Do what?
Do you know about a White House briefing on non-human intelligence?
I don't know.
Yeah. How are your talks with Browns going? Are you guys thinking of offering UAP Day as an amendment? Or is it all going to be kind of closed doors?
You know, it's not just him, but like most senators, it's really hard to get FaceTime with a senator. So I just work through his staff. Yeah. I have my staff reach out to his staff.
And are those talks, like, does it look like you guys are going to offer UAPDA as an amendment to NDAA, or is it all?
Yeah, we're looking at dropping the language and then trying to get it into the House side. And I'm sure that he's going to do the same with the Senate.
And then you'll do formal conference committee and see formal.
Yeah.
Whatever that means these days. Cool. I'll be watching.
Okay. Appreciate it.
A lot of noise, Mike, not a lot of content, unfortunately. It sounds like Representative Burleson saying I couldn't comment regarding the ask about the White House briefing on NHI, but hasn't there, I think there's been more comments and actually coming from more people about the executive branch getting briefed about NHI.
Well, we covered a story recently that Burleson had said that he had made requests to the White House, that he wanted to get access to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base for a tour, Area 51 also for a tour, and he wanted a briefing at the White House on SAPs that cover UAPs, like for reverse engineering and for crash retrievals. He said that at the time that we covered this, that so far there has been one approval and the rest are pending. But he didn't specify which request was approved. So him being asked by Laszlo about the White House briefing, that was something that Burleson had already publicly mentioned. So it's a follow-up, and obviously his response was, I don't know. So he didn't get an answer yet, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he let the cat out of the bag before, and now when he's talking about it, he's saying, sorry, I can't talk about that, which is the right response to have, especially if he wants to play nice with the executive branch.
No, not if he already had put the requests in. He should have simply just said, I haven't gotten an answer back yet.
Yeah.
But instead, his answer was flat out, categorically, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like when people are being vague when there's no reason to be.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Absolutely, my friend. If we turn our sights on the United Kingdom, coming from the BBC, UAP James over on X, he's a great person to go ahead and follow. The BBC News host asked if Trump will disclose on aliens before he releases the Epstein files. Good question, because you know what a wonderful time to go ahead and talk about UFOs and what's been going on and just screw with everyone in the world. That sounds like something Trump would do, doesn't it?
Well, if he really is heavily in those files and has been to that island as much as been alleged, if I was him, he should absolutely be talking about NHI and UAP.
Yeah.
That would be a very good way to get everyone's attention off of the island and him on the list.
Yeah. Really quick, friends, if you see something coming out there from Times Now, which was last night, saying Trump to release UFO files, live congressional hearing on UFOs. This is clickbait, folks. This is old hearings. This is someone who's been going out there on a regular basis, getting 400, 500, 1,000 people at a time, taking the bait. That there are live Congress hearings on UFOs. You just have to take it and say, get out of there.
Yeah. They've been running that channel. People who are not knowledgeable on this
believe it,
have gone there and watched it. They think they're live hearings as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clickbait. And it's a shame that they do that and get away with it.
Exactly. Well, let's get back to this short but definitive, if you want to call it. You've TBT, you missed out about that. So let's get to this clip right now talking about the BBC asked if Trump will disclose about UFOs before the Epstein files. Good one.
You better.
If President Trump had proof of aliens, he would show us ET at this point to change the subject.
Angie, do you think we'll see aliens before we'll see the Epstein files?
I would love to see aliens. I would love to see all the UFO files. I think that would be amazing, and maybe as a parting gift for Americans and the world, when he ends his term, maybe that will come down the pipeline.
If President Trump had...
so even the newscaster from the UK is even out there saying, would love to have that information. I think all of us would love to have that information, Mike.
Yeah. even if it means not looking into potentially having a president who's a pedophile. If he was to bring out true and actual disclosure, yeah, I think we would all let that slide. It's a good trade. We'll take it.
Yeah. And you talk some strong words. Luckily, it's not me saying that, Mike.
No, I know.
Well, talking about aliens coming into the United Kingdom, although our friends in the United Kingdom can't go ahead and talk about this and say about this, but this is something that relates to everybody. Let's see what Firefly says first before we get to it. Trump needs to take the opportunity to be the UFO disclosure president. He will be famous like forever, and I think that's something he would really like to do, to be famous forever, besides his policies that almost half the nation doesn't like. But let's get back to the United Kingdom, because there's some things that are going on in the UK right now, Mike, that mirror what was going on in the United States. Now, if I go ahead and bring this up, this is an alleged report coming from a concerned citizen out of the United Kingdom, I believe. Let's go ahead and show this one. Under the cover of darkness, in the middle of night, a busload of migrants, we've had that problem going on in the United States as here, are ferried into a luxury hotel in the Canary Wharf of London, one of the capital's most expensive areas. They're all military-age fighting men who look like they're dressed in uniform, clutching an envelope. What's the envelope? Who provided them? The whole thing becomes more sinister by the day. Mike, this reminds me of the buses arriving in New York and different parts of the United States, where they're unloading people, carrying their envelopes, going in there to not carrying envelopes, but going ahead and being brought in the dark of the night.
Yeah. No, I saw a few clips from the UK on YouTube where some concerned citizens got together and they went into some of these luxury hotels where the migrants are, and they brought a video camera. It was very interesting, to say the least. There's a lot of concerned people to want to know what the hell is going on.
But the people in the United Kingdom can't even go and tweet about this or cover it, because if they do, they're going to get in trouble by the thought police. They have a whole new division that they've put together to go ahead and just enforce the law on social media, where some people are getting locked up these days for 7 years.
Right. And they're trying to extend that to people who reside in the United States.
Yeah.
I don't know how much luck they'll have with that. The United States is much different than the UK. Good luck in trying to come over here and actually arrest anybody. They probably wouldn't make it back out alive.
Well, I know this is fake, and I'm going to present it as fake. Otherwise, we'll get in trouble from the thought police over at YouTube. A fake picture over by Big Ben that we can all laugh at, Mike, but it's more like crying than it is laughing. What am I talking about? Oh, let's get into it. Oh, let's see. Controlled thought zone. Are you having arrestable thoughts? Thought monitoring technology has been installed in this area. Prohibited thoughts are punishable by the court of law. And I don't think they're that too far, that coming from the Metropolitan Police surveilling London.
Right. If they had that technology where they could use AI to determine what a person's motivation is or what they're thinking, and they wanted to outlaw that, that's like something out of a science fiction movie. I can't believe we're talking it could be a possibility at one point.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Well, focusing continually on the United Kingdom right now, since they're our number 2 audience for Disclosure tonight. Sorry to say, folks, Canada, you're outnumbered by our friends across the pond in the United Kingdom. Something else that's happened over at Jeremy Clarkson. You know him from
I do.
Top Speed. Not
Top Gear, yeah.
Yeah, Top Gear. Thank you very much. Yes, apparently there's an issue going on with bovine tuberculosis. It's a sad one, yeah, but let's get into it. Yeah, apparently they're seeing this here, and the fingers are being pointed by some, like Jeremy, at Bill Gates, at some of the vaccines that potentially the cows have had. Granted, this is all just speculation at this point. This is what's being said across the pond as they're having to go ahead and put down a record number of cows.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not, my friend, but it is especially tied into our audience in the United Kingdom. But then again, one thing that happened in the United Kingdom that there's been a lot of conversation on in the past, it's something that is just, it's too good to be something that was made up by humans, potentially. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. Remember the incident that we had where you had the alien that was in a crop circle, and the crop circle had a message going in here with regards to beware the bearers of false gifts. I mean, gifts, not gifts. Gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's out there. Did you understand just how dumb our scientific classes are not to study and accept this 2002 message warning? Even as 3I Atlas, a possible threat, enters our solar system in the plane of the ecliptic, beware the bearers of false gifts on the promises. What did it say exactly? Much pain, but still time. Pain. Believe. There is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing. And if you look at the binary code shown in slide 4, it's this one here. This is what they actually put in the message, and it came down to, Mike, coming down to ASCII code delivering this kind of a message. Yeah. Now, one additional thing that a lot of people haven't brought up, of these 3 stars that they have in here, potentially, those align to the configuration of what's in Orion, like we've seen from the pyramids in the past. And their positioning.
Interesting.
Oh, it is. And I'll get to that one. There we go. The 3 stars of Orion's belt lining up to what we've got there. So, crop circles are something that happen on a regular basis in the United Kingdom, but there's not a lot of precedence and belief going into them. But something like this that is so complex that appeared overnight doesn't look like something to me that could easily be handled by any dumb human. Your thoughts, Mike? Or Andy, for that matter?
I'm a little skeptical on the simple fact that they were using ASCII code, which is a human creation. If they're as advanced as they appear to be, I would imagine they
But it was
have,
binary digits that aligned with ASCII, which means it's kind of complex.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
numbers and math is the only universal language.
Yeah. Andy, what are your thoughts on this one? You're from the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm, obviously home almost of crop circles, the UK. Yeah, this is a really interesting one. If it wasn't created by another intelligence, then whoever did this was pretty intelligent and very good at what they did. But is this the one that appeared? There was one that appeared by one of our radio telescopes.
Bingo! This appeared in the crop field right next to the radio telescope.
Yeah, so I'm whether they were just joking with the scientists there, or the fact that this arrived overnight as well is whoever did it is pretty impressive.
I mean, not just the picture, but getting into the actual code that was there and what came into it. That was a very precise implementation that they put together that tells a story like no other.
I find it very impressive because it was done at night. So, the odds of getting it right, you had one shot at getting it right. Whatever, if it was humans that did this, this was one of the most, I think this is the most complex one that they've ever found. You can prove me wrong for that. I'm quite happy to be proved wrong on that. But yeah, to whatever or whoever created it, to do it in one night to that.
To that level of detail, it just, begs question to say, what the hell are we even looking at? I think I've got a clip on that.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, you just got to look at it and just wonder what the hell is even that, my friend. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the studio here. I've got more stuff to bring up. A lot of things in the United Kingdom that are going on. TVT, what are your thoughts on this? I know you chimed in for a second. Is this believable to you? Actually, I'm not going to ask the audience on this, actually. This is a good one.
something of that kind of detail would be hard to draw, let alone, do out in the field for whatever reason. Yeah, I think it's totally believable. I mean, we're looking at it, right before our eyes. Yeah. I'm
all
believing
right.
that.
Let me go ahead and get this up there. Okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please. All right, folks, we've got another rapid round of voting for our audience right now. Let's get this in there. All right. So,
1 minute and 30 seconds. And that's starting now.
coming from our, if you want to call it, from our friends up there, let's go ahead and take a look. The ET warning crop circle. Is it from NHI? Or is it from humans? Let me go ahead and get our sound effects started up and let's play it. All right, we've got it with 1 minute, 10 seconds left. This is your chance, folks, to go ahead and vote and tell us what you think. Is this ET warning crop circle from NHI or potentially from humans? Well, if you look at it, we almost have a presidential, if you want to call it, majority, where 57% of our audience is saying yes, it's from NHI, and 43% is saying it's from humans. Okay, with 72 votes in, you've just got 45 seconds left to vote to see where our audience is going to take Disclosure tonight for this question. Who else do we have in the back? Let's take a look. Andy, how would you vote?
I voted on this one as NHI.
All right, none of your business. How would you vote?
I'm going to say NSI.
NHI. Let's go to Tia Maria.
NHI, sorry.
Tia Maria, how would you vote on this? Let's then move on to our remote viewing targeter. Laura Campbell, how would you vote?
I'm going to say human. Very smart human.
Very smart human. All right. Everyone has a different take on it. With just 2 seconds left, let's go ahead and take a screenshot of this for perpetuity. And let's go ahead and end the poll. Come on, end the poll. Stop the timer. All right. Final results, my friend. That's only % off. Is showing 58% of our audience is saying that it's from the NHI. 42% of our audience is saying it from humans. So it looks like in this one, the NHIs have it. How about that? Got to appreciate it. Yeah. All right, Mike, where are we getting on to next? Oh, we got a bunch of different things to cover. We got more conversations coming in about disclosure on this, but you know what? I'm going to play something fun here. There's been a lot of talk that's come up in the last week with regards to Operation Mockingbird. That's the, if you want to call it, the intelligence community using the press to go ahead and send a message, if you want to call it, that's scripted and not necessarily the truth.
Controlled narrative.
Yeah.
Government's been doing that for decades.
Beyond a shadow of it. Oh, yeah.
The 1950s.
Oh, yeah. And Mike, I've got probably one of the best examples of that to go ahead and show here. Let me go ahead and find this. Where the hell did that go? Where is... Did I shut it down, son of a... All right. Let me see if I can go ahead. It's going to take a second for me to find this video. Let me just go ahead and play it from here. It'll be the easiest. This is coming to us from YouTube. It's a video that I've showed in the past before. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let me just bring up Downey again so I can control it a little bit better. I don't know why I did this. Let me just get this video out of the way. Let me get this one brought up. I had all my videos stacked for the show. All right, and it's downloading it right now. Come on. You can get there. Come on, YouTube. There we go. Open external application. This is probably, Mike, one of the best examples of what Project Mockingbird is. It's a message that's parroted across countless levels of news agencies across the United States to go ahead and put out a narrative, most probably more false than anything, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's absolutely disinformation at its core. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and play this one for the audience, and I think you'll understand what the heck we're talking about. Let's play it.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 I've been running for 26 years. When my patients ask me whether they should get vaccinated against COVID-19, I tell them yes.
All right, that gets to it, Mike. Interesting conversation, eh, my friend? It just goes to show you that a message can be broadcast across so many people to go ahead and get them to tie into, in this example, this is extremely dangerous to our democracy, and just shows the mockingbird effect that can happen across countless numbers of news outlets across our country, if not the world for that matter.
Yeah, this is how the government has been putting out their narrative about what they want the public to see or not see. And it's been widespread for a long period of time. It's one of the reasons why corporate news media outlets have been dropping with viewership, numbers, support, revenue. People don't want to hear it anymore. They don't trust their news outlets because of this messaging. It's disgusting.
It's parroting, it's almost ties into why the reason that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and is getting shut down, because it's a highly polarized one particular view that's being put out there, fake narrative and all. Now, getting back to it, there's a conversation that came out in an interview of Dr. Robert Malone, who's the inventor of mRNA vaccines. He's been he was muted in the past during the, if you want to call it, the clown lockdown, talking about the COVID origins and such. He's saying that RFK Jr. received a classified briefing on UFOs, UAPs, and whether they could be interdimensional beings or time travelers. Remember, back at when RFK Jr. was running for office, he's one of the only ones who said, if I become elected the president, and if I can do it, I will release the UFO files. So it sounds like he got the briefing he's been looking for. So Malone claims that federal investigators told him that alien encounters are ramping up, and confirms they're real. Let's go ahead and play a little clip from this, Mike. What do you think? Should we play it?
Oh, this is a good, very good interview. We should absolutely play it.
All right, here, let's go ahead and get to it. This is coming to us from Shadow of Ezra over on X. Let me move this over and move it a little bit over this way so I can make it a little bit larger. There we go. Let's go ahead and play this little clip here, coming to us from X. Here we go.
And as they were going out the door, we had the woman, Justine, that is our special person within Malone.news that focuses on UAPs. So she was there, and she just couldn't help herself. She asked, do you know anything about the UAPs? And one of them piped up and said, in the investigation, she said, well, I can't talk about it because I'm actively involved in supporting those investigations, but I can tell you that a lot more activity is happening now.
Oh, God.
That's data point number one, and that they're real. Okay. Data point number two, I'm talking to my friend and mentioned this while we were on the boat, and he says, Bobby had a briefing. And all of this stuff is true. Roswell, all those things, the reverse engineering, the origin of the night vision, a whole bunch of this tech comes out of reverse engineering recovered material. And so stay tuned on that. It sounds like there is absolutely there. And we can look forward to, as you're talking about the future, we can look forward to learning a lot more about what the heck is going on with these, whether they're time travelers and they're humans coming back, or they're from another dimension, or they're whatever, fill in the blank. But apparently it's real.
Interesting to say the least. Now, he didn't say classified briefing. What he said was a briefing, right, Mike?
Yeah, he said a briefing.
A briefing. So, who could have briefed RFK Jr. about all the things that we just brought up? Well, if you take a look back to a Happy Thanksgiving picture that was posted by RFK Jr. last year, who in the heck do we have? Oh, why am I not seeing the whole thing here? Let me make it so we can see the whole picture here. Bring it down, and there you go, Mike. If we take a look at close in the picture here, we've got RFK Jr. with his granddaughter up on his shoulders. And lo and behold, who is that man with a little bit of a Santa Claus belly? Well, if I recognize that hair and that face, Mike, I'd have to say that's Danny Sheehan.
Yeah, but Grok doesn't seem to agree with you.
Well,
on that,
yeah,
Thomas.
I had a fight with it last night, and after I actually fought with it, and he came out and said, no, this is somebody else, and I was like, no, I know Danny Sheehan, that's Danny, and actually came back and said, well, you know, after further review, you're right.
Because you are right.
Yeah.
That absolutely is Danny Sheehan. You and I know him very well. That couldn't be anybody else. Besides, he's directly connected to the Kennedy family.
Oh, he is. Isn't it by one of his...
Yes.
Yeah, one of his children or grandchildren who...
Yes, by marriage.
By marriage, yeah. So
Yes,
there we go. We've got something coming out there. We've got news coming out that RFK Jr. has been briefed with regards to UAP. And sure enough, it looks, I would say, it was Danny Sheehan. What do you think, Mike?
Oh, I responded to your battle with Grok and told Elon he needs to fix his broken AI because it's not only doubling down on false information, which is a really bad look for his AI. Yeah, I agreed with you 100% because we both know Danny, and that is not who Grok was suggesting, which I believe was Joe Kennedy Jr., a member of Kennedy's, Robert Kennedy's family, his brother, I think he was saying. No, it isn't. That's not his brother, who I believe is dead. So Grok was way off the mark on this one.
Yeah.
But doubling down on it.
Just to go ahead and prove to everybody, yes, I did challenge Grok on this one because I was the one who actually posted that picture initially about this. And let's get to the top one where they said, breaking, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was reportedly briefed on UFOs and UAPs and the possibility that they could be interdimensional beings and time travelers. And I was just being kind of vague here because sometimes you like being that way on X. And I said a picture is worth 1,000 words, with the picture of Danny Sheehan with RFK Jr. One of the people said, the French lawyer asked, Grok, who is the old white guy who on the left who was circled in blue? And he said, oh, that is Joseph P. Kennedy II, RFK Jr.'s older brother and a former U.S. congressman from Massachusetts. And the French lawyer said, isn't that Danny Sheehan instead? And if I get into it, Grok came back and said, no, that is Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. Danny Sheehan, the UFO attorney, isn't family and doesn't appear in this Thanksgiving photo. Apparently, Grok doesn't know everything. My response to that one was, I know, Danny. It's Danny Sheehan. Try again. And Grok came back and said, well, upon closer examination and cross-referencing with multiple sources, you're right, that is Daniel Sheehan, the UFO attorney in RFK's Jr. Thanksgiving family photo. My initial identification was incorrect. Apologies for that error. Context suggests he was a guest, aligning with the recent UFO briefing. So the interesting thing about this is, Mike, is you can point out and have a conversation with Grok and actually say, no, you're wrong.
Right. But the fact that you tried to correct it and it doubled down that you were wrong and it was right initially,
That was
means
somebody
that-
else trying to correct it, but when I corrected it, because I was the one who actually posted that photo in the first place, it actually took heart to it and did research. Now, that's one thing we've learned about AI, Mike. It can be lazy and give you something called hallucinations, where it's telling you this is the fact because it skipped the research it should have done.
Yeah, it just doubles down on false information because it doesn't know any better. So, yeah, they should fix that, actually.
Oh, they definitely should, my friend. They definitely should. Well, for those friends who want to go ahead and hang out with Chris Bledsoe at the Great Pyramid in Easter of 2026, well, guess what? It's actually going to happen. So get your tickets now, my friend. Let's go ahead and get into this. Where am I at? All right, Chris Bledsoe. Let me make this a little bit larger. Sorry about that. Do me a favor, friends in the back, if you're not speaking right now, everyone except Mike should mute your mics. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, where was I at? I lost it. All right. So, Chris Bledsoe confirms via Grant Cameron that there will be a gathering at the Sphinx on Easter of 2026 when humanity will experience a profound shift in knowledge regarding the UAP. So let's go ahead and play this clip here, see where it takes us. Let me move this down a little bit. Let's get the, where's it at? The fair use text up. Let's go ahead and play this clip. Here we go, folks.
Message.
Wait, we're not getting any audio out of Grant. Let's just come into this video, make it a little bit larger.
This just happened.
All right, and let's play it.
Happened. Everybody probably has heard the rumored story about 2027, 2026. The 2026 is based upon best-selling author Chris Bledsoe and his message from the lady. And that event is supposed to take place on
we're getting silence
Easter
back here,
of
Thomas. I don't know for the audience.
Hold on, the audience I think is getting it. Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong window here. Let me. It's in the window. You guys can't hear it. Sorry, folks. Let me go ahead and move this across to Brave browser. Let me just play it back in the back so the people in our back can go ahead and listen to this. Let me just go ahead and restart this. Thanks for the info, Andy.
Message. This just happened. Everybody probably has heard the rumored story about 2027, 2026. The 2026 is based upon best-selling author Chris Bledsoe and his message from the lady. And that event is supposed to take place on Easter of 2026. And I contacted Chris last night and I said, Chris, are you going to be at the pyramid and at the Sphinx on the 26th, just before sunrise? He said, yes, I'll be there. I said, well, I'll talk to Desta. We may join you. So anybody who's interested in going to see this event, if anything happens there, Easter of, I think it's April 5th in Egypt, let me know. Desta's a tour guide. She'll set up all this kind of stuff. And it's like you buy the lottery ticket. You're probably not going to win, but maybe something will happen. And it's an interesting place to see. So in relation.
Well, there you go. There you have it, my friends. It sounds like the tour guides are getting set up to go ahead and start selling tickets and booking up the local hotels with their add-on fees to go ahead and cover this monumental event. What are your thoughts, Andy?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I wonder how much it's going to cost to attend this event. Will he be selling tickets or not?
Yeah. Well, you can't sell tickets, but you can book people, and you need to have potentially, maybe not a tour guide, but it just sounds like one of those events we're going ahead and dealing with that is going to go ahead and cost people money to go and see yet another Nothing Burger. TVT, your hand is up.
Yeah, I don't remember if we touched based on, we were talking about Egypt and the pyramids, but the things underneath it that are going down that they caught on like LiDAR or some kind of
That's another topic completely for another day, but I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, they've gone ahead and not using LiDAR. They were using technology, seeing stuff from satellites, potentially going ahead and seeing things under the Great Pyramids and such. Let's see, the only way we're going to truly find out, TVT, is if the Department of Antiquities, coming from the Egyptian government, allows for some exploration and just don't go ahead and follow along with the same Egyptologists that have prevented them from going and doing exploration like that additional void in the Great Pyramid, where they have prevented people from going ahead and actually seeing what's inside. And there's no excuse for not doing explorations at this date.
No, I agree. I mean, that's like 7 wonders of the world right there, we should know. Like
oh gosh, yes, absolutely, my friend. I couldn't agree with you more. Let's get back to this, see what I haven't brought up yet. It's always trying to find stuff going on here to cover in Disclosure tonight. Let's go ahead and shut down let's get to this. Well, in additional news, if someone wants to go ahead and see Jay Stratton, let me go ahead and bring this one up here. Where am I at? Desktop only. Not that one, not that one, not that one. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, let's just go to... All right, let's cover it. Yeah, let's cover it here from the desk. What the hell, why not? So, Jay Stratton, my friends, is going to be... who is the former director of the UAPTF, is going to be at Phenomicon coming up on between September 3rd and September 6th of this year in Vernal, Utah. So if you want to go ahead and hang out with someone who potentially is going to be the next person to go ahead and deliver disclosure, this is your chance to buy your way into it. Your thoughts, Mike?
Oh, yes. Come one, come all. Join the grift party. Bring your wallets and credit cards. I've never been a fan of things like this on this scale. It's just because I guess disclosure is so quiet right now. People are looking for anything that they can get some information about this to feel like they're involved or participating or getting some advanced knowledge on this subject that they're not getting from normal channels. So they're willing to pay. I never agreed with things for money on like this. So it's not a good look, in my opinion, Thomas.
Oh, I hear you, my friend. It's just one of those tough situations you want to get into. Now, I guess we could go ahead and cover this again. Fox News, Mike, we covered J.D. Vance's, his interest with regards to and focus on UFOs. Well, apparently this is also being picked up by Fox News, where J.D. Vance, new focus on UFOs, and referred to SUV-sized drones seen in New Jersey as UAP, that the White House nonetheless has stated authorized by the FAA research. But it's not just that. He's actually been saying that he's obsessed with UFOs, and he wants to dig into the topic and figure out what's going on during the August recess from Congress.
Right. We talked about that last night. We agreed with his position if he will actually follow through and really look into this and then maybe propose to the president. He needs to declassify a lot of the records the government has been hiding and keeping secret on this topic. And we also agreed with Dr. Avi Loeb trying to divert the Juno satellite to intercept this interstellar object. So yeah, it was a good show last night.
Yeah. And a quick question coming from Daryl in our chat. Any update on Louis' health, Lou Elizondo's health? We talked about that right now. He is going through some health issues potentially. It's not just him working out, and our hearts and prayers go out for Lou at this point. Hopefully it's nothing serious, right, Mike?
Right. Lou is a fighter. He's strong. I don't think it's anything serious to begin with. Probably some typical health problems at the age that we're all at. So
yeah.
It's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Well, if you're old like me, and Mike for that matter, and you remember Commodore, well, I know this isn't to deal with UFOs, but it deals with an ancient technology that we all love for that matter. Let me go ahead and bring up this clip that came up to my attention last night. All right, so we just official Commodore. We just made history. Commodore is home. So let's go ahead and play this little clip telling us about what's going on with Commodore, and more importantly, and their urge to go ahead and bring the brand back to life. Let's get into it.
We just made history. Together, we've just signed the final contracts and paid in full, ahead of schedule, to complete the acquisition of the whole of Commodore Corporation BV and all 47 original Commodore trademarks, the oldest dating back to 1983. Pardon me. And it all means that Commodore is finally in the hands of those who truly care, the community and the original employees. And we did this for every one of you, for your parents, for whoever grew up with Commodore lighting up their imagination. And now the fun really begins. Commodore reboots, not just as a retro brand with next-gen ideas, but as the digital detox brand, picking up right where we left off in the 90s, and therefore perfectly positioned to help free society from toxic tech and bring joy back to computing, 90s and Y2K style. Stay tuned to Retro Recipes by Commodore on YouTube for the full story, because yes, Commodore is finally keeping up with you.
How about that, Mike? You know, we all love looking back at the earlier days of our lives and everything, but it's nice to see a tried and true brand from the United Kingdom, Commodore, is about to return.
Yeah. Well, listen, I had the first Commodore 64 in 1983. And I didn't remember it didn't have a hard drive back then, but it did use the 5 1/4-inch floppy disk.
Yeah, the 1541, if you remember.
I do, yeah. You know, you have a good memory. But this is something that if they wanted to bring it back in 2025, I don't really see the point. What are they going to do? Have like a retro style computing system that is going to do what exactly?
I don't know, but you know, there's been a lot of interest in people going ahead and buying retro versions of the Atari 2600, the Atari 7800, the Super Nintendo, and the Sega Genesis and other platforms. This is just another opportunity to go ahead and bring back some of those retro things, because hell, Mike, even look these days, vinyl is even back in.
But even vinyl has limited functionality.
Yeah, but they're still manufacturing, and there's still a lot of people that are going out there and buying it.
I got them all, Thomas.
Nice.
Yeah. I just don't know what the hell anyone would do with a Commodore 64 nowadays.
Well, it's not just Commodore 64, it's the Amiga and everything else. If you remember, back in the days in the early 80s, there was a trend to go ahead having computers, actually video game systems that could be expanded into a personal computer. That's how the Amiga was initially born. It was supposed to be a game console that you could add on a keyboard and other accessories to make it into it. But with the crash of the video game industry back in 1983, they abandoned all plans for it to be expandable and just targeted the Amiga, which was probably one of the most revolutionary devices at its times for graphics and sound.
But IBM won that battle in the 80s, if you remember.
Yeah, unfortunately, but the Amiga still has a heart, and has a place in the heart of so many people out there like myself. Let's see what they do with it. Hopefully, they do something better than what they've done with trying to rebrand and bring back Atari from the day.
Yeah, I mean, look, Atari, a retro deck that you can get relatively cheaply.
Yeah.
It's fun to play for a little bit. It brings back a lot of nostalgic memories, but the technology, I mean...
It's dated, yeah.
Yeah, very dated.
Maybe they'll come up with something new. I just wish them the best of luck. It's great to go ahead and see brands like that coming back together. I like to see them do something like this with the Spectrum and the Speccy back in the day. There was an amazing amount of software and technology that was really targeted towards the United Kingdom that really has global appeal.
Well, what I thought was promising a while back was the smart glasses that they were working on developing for the consumer, but then they shut it down. I like the idea of wearing glasses that were a computer that would be able to have whatever you looked at.
Oh, Facebook is still going at that full force with, is it Oakley, I think? Or Ray-Ban. There we go.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they have problems with internet connectivity. The device itself was limited, but I think that's progress moving forward if they could perfect it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You
We'll
wouldn't
get there,
need to
my
look
friend.
down at your phone. Yeah, and see, I'm looking at stuff like that, not the Commodore 64, Thomas.
Well, It's in my heart. I remember back in the day. I actually have was it the 1040S, whatever it is, their CRT monitor that was really great. I've got one of those up in the attic. I'll have to bring it up. Andy W., your hand is up, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just going to chime in and say, with all these smart glasses, with the cameras on it, I remember seeing Jean-Michel Jarre when he played in London, not the big concerts, and he had a pair of glasses that had a camera on it that was filming while he was playing. But just imagine if we had all of these, everybody had these type of glasses, how many UFOs would be captured?
A lot.
Because you'd be looking up, oh, there's a UFO, and it would be, recording while you're looking.
And if they incorporate AI, you could give it voice commands, zoom and enhance, engage FLIR, and get a lot of video footage that could probably use Bluetooth to connect to your actual device that has storage on it. And that would be a good progression forward with that kind of technology, if they do it.
Because how many of us, I like I've said here before, I've had sightings of things. I've never once thought to get my camera out. And anyway, as we've spoken, the camera, quality of night filming of anything is absolutely dire. But if you had these things on your eyes and you look up, it's locked wherever your eyes are looking. So yeah.
But look at it like this, Andy. You wear glasses. Can you imagine if they could use prescription lenses on these frames that are intelligent and smart? You'd be wearing them all the time.
Oh, yeah, they have
that. If I could afford them, I would be. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it should. But I think the technology should move in that direction for all of us. It would be really connecting us in a really grand way.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But of course, Amiga Rules Rule came back and said Commodore does not own the Amiga trademark. Let's see if that's one of the patents they did pick up. It would be great to see a new Amiga or something coming out along those lines and not to see it flop and hit the floor. Now, getting back to, if you want to call it UFO news, if you want to call it even about Psi news for this matter, apparently we had the Psi games going on, where Dahlia Bergen just delivered a flawless mine site performance at the Psi Games with 100% accuracy. This is where they have multiple, if you want to call it, blindfolds on so they can see what's going on, and they have to pick up the objects and know where they have to go based on their colors. So let's go ahead and play this little clip on this one. This is nothing short of amazing. Let me go ahead and play this. Let me get this a little bit bigger so we can go ahead and see it. Let me click into here, make it even larger. Let's go ahead and play this. This is an amazing clip, folks. It shows you that there is power in the mind that we just have there, and it's untapped. Look at that. Not one error at all. Andy, what are your thoughts on this one? This is just kind of amazing to go ahead and see this kind of performance where they're just picking up the objects without the aid of sight and picking them up and knowing exactly where they need to go.
I can barely do that with my eyes open and looking at the thing, to be honest. But yeah, sometimes if I'm working on a nut or something on the bolt, it's hidden away, I sort of try and picture it in my mind's eye. But yeah, these guys it's colored, and I couldn't see if it's different shaped objects.
No, they're the same shape, just different colors.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the person who's watching it is.
Go
ahead.
Yeah. If it's color to color and there's they're all the same shape, that's absolutely phenomenal. I don't know how they're doing that.
Yeah, with judges there and everything, it's amazing to see what the mind has the power of. A lot of people don't give this precedence, but you know what? It looks real to me. All right, see if there's anything else here that I've missed. All right. We've got a short clip here of coming from OAN News that Representative Eric Burleson explained that the Trump administration is very open to disclosure. But if the White House doesn't proactively address the issue, Congress is already moving to force disclosure. This is coming to us from the Disclosure Party over on X. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. Here we go. Let's play it.
The cover-up ends now. Congress has the power to bring this to light, and we intend to use it. That Congressman, Eric Burleson, joins us now. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. What do you mean? What are we looking at when it comes to disclosures? What do you expect to see?
Yeah, there's a lot of money that's being spent on this topic. There are a lot of agencies that are involved. You just heard from one individual that's working with one section of the federal government. I've spoken with multiple agencies of the federal government that are in some way, shape, or form observing this phenomenon. And so a lot of money, time, and attention is being put forward to this. And I think that what's lacking is congressional oversight. We had a whistleblower, David Grush, was the first one to come forward. They indicated a lot of these special access programs are not following the law. They're not properly reporting to elected officials, members of Congress. And so that's a disturbing fact, something that we have to investigate.
I guess that's something that you expected to encounter when you helped co-found this committee.
Yeah, we knew we were going to get some level of pushback, and we certainly have. Now, I will say that things have softened with this new administration. The Trump administration seems to be very open to disclosure. I'm on the disclosure task force. We have seen hundreds of thousands of documents related to the Martin Luther King Jr. assassination released. We saw tens of thousands of documents related to JFK released. And I think that hopefully we'll see a level of disclosure when it comes to UAP as well. If the White House isn't going to step forward and do it, then I myself, and actually ironically, Chuck Schumer and Senator Rounds are sponsoring legislation to force disclosure.
Well, there you go, Mike. It seems that, honestly, Representative Burleson has taken it's a cover-up focus away from Tim Burchett, who's quieted down extensively about UFOs, and Burleson's picking up and running with it.
He is. But he also goes down a couple of interesting rabbit holes that he probably should have avoided. But, it's a lot of talk. And so far, we haven't seen the UAP hearings that was supposed to originally be scheduled earlier this year. We haven't gotten confirmation on that moving forward. It's a lot of rhetoric and talk, but we haven't seen any actual movement yet coming out of Washington on any of this. Yeah. It's disappointing. I'd like to see movement. I'd wish you and I were covering this on a regular basis. But so far, it seems to be just pretty quiet up on the Hill. Nothing coming forward from the White House or Congress at this time.
It seems to be that way. Things are just quiet in regards to it. But then again, we have Congress going on a full month of vacation for the whole month of August. Let's see where they take it when they get back. Or maybe they'll be making statements, thank you, Steve Hines, as they're on vacation, which is more or less likely than not.
Right. That's true. I mean, Luna, who's the chair of the Secrets Task Force, she recently made a statement that talked about they're also focusing on the Epstein files.
Yeah.
And she said that they're getting pushback from the White House through the Department of Justice, the DOJ.
Yeah.
They are blocking them every step of the way. So, like we talked about earlier in the conversation, maybe the president will decide to sidestep the Epstein issue by going full out on disclosure. That would be something I think the American public would accept.
Yeah.
I know we would.
Oh, definitely, Mike, definitely.
The good tactic may be instead of having this behind-the-scenes battle to keep the Epstein information hidden, maybe he should be switching the focus back to disclosure and get everybody's attention on a completely different topic.
Yeah. It could be. We'll see what goes on. But if we keep our eyes to the sky, one of the interesting pieces we have out there is the Nightcrawler crew is out there yet again last night on the New Jersey shores looking for UFOs or UAP or orbs, whatever they want to call them at this point, coming in off the ocean. And I believe Dr. Keith Taylor, who's been on the show several times in the past, was out there with the crew yet again.
Of course he was. Yeah, that's the Tedesco brothers, and they do really good work.
Yeah.
And research on this. Yeah.
They've got great equipment here. They've got crawlers that come out there to bring all their equipment out, get everything set up. Everything's on tripods. They've got a lot of equipment looking at different spectrums. It looks like they're continually, Mike, they're onto something.
Well, they are. I mean, we've covered the Tedesco brothers before on the show, and they have shown clips of objects over Long Island Sound that they used the original Nightcrawler mobile lab to find. And it was fascinating with their different sensors that they have been using. It's interesting. I haven't really seen anything recently from them on that, but I know they're doing the work. I know they're out there focusing on what they could see out there in the night. I'd look forward to seeing new information come from them.
Yeah. Let's just hope they don't wait to get peer review before they start bringing the details out, because that means it's going to be locked up forever, folks.
Right. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's the scientific method. But you and I, who have been working closely with Dr. Beatrice Villarol,
were if you want to talk about that set, Mike, I will be right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. As you and I are well aware of, she was going and is going down the peer review process with her research and her work. But we were able to bypass waiting indefinitely on peer review and have her work come out publicly, which we broke the story on and covered here on the show, so that the public is aware of the true nature of her work and what she's discovered, and what was going on with the video that her colleague, Dr. Dennis Asperg, had made it public on YouTube a week before she came out. And we just want the truth to be out there of the credible work that's actually being done by members of the scientific community, so that the public can really understand what's above us, what's going on here around us, and what the truth really is, not the controlled narrative that the government likes to push on the public with disinformation and propaganda.
Yeah.
So we want the actual truth to come out, and so far it has been. Anything we're involved in, we make sure that the public is aware of it.
Yeah.
And there's still more to come.
Oh, absolutely, my friend. I can't wait to see where this all goes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There's still work that is going to be done moving forward, and new discoveries that are going to, I believe, get everybody's attention. Because,
you better believe it. I do have one last bit of news to go ahead and bring up, Mike. Apparently, Representative Jared Moskowitz is feeling, well, let's go see what he has to say. He wants to know why Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. reportedly got a classified UFO briefing rather than Vice President J.D. Vance, who stated he is investigating the issue but still doesn't know what's actually happening. Now, what's been said is he didn't get a classified briefing. He got a briefing, and more likely than not, Jared, that briefing came from his in-law, Danny Sheehan.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
Yeah.
But nothing has been confirmed, so there's no reason for squabbling like this.
Exactly.
That I can see. Mm-hmm.
I hear you, my friend. I want to go ahead and thank everyone for what a great show, Mike. Is there anything else we haven't covered yet today?
No, I think we've talked about a lot of different subjects. Had an interesting conversation with the audience. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good show today.
Great show. Thank you very much. Actually, Megan Best just said great show. Yeah, we try to do our best here at Disclosure tonight. Remember, if you had a good time, you've been hanging out with our broadcast for so long, you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and give us a subscribe. More importantly, if you haven't given us a chance to give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, we'd likely appreciate it. We still have 330 people watching the show right now, but only 153 likes. What are we doing wrong, folks? Mike, and what's our policy about subscriptions?
The cost of it is free, but we will also give you a double your money back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
And we're also on the show going to be giving away tickets for Lou Elizondo's continuing book tour that's coming up in September. And we're going to be giving away subscriptions to Matt Laszlo's Askapole.
Yeah. So I'm going to have some fun with that one, my friend. Now, if I can, I want to go ahead and let me get back to our studio here. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for your wonderful super chats tonight. Who am I talking about? We got Vern Dude. Thank you very much. Steve Hines, Laura Campbell, Sam, Daryl, Kane Northup. Thank you very much. We're a fan-funded program, and every penny helps. Mr. Catfish 2100, Daryl again, Firefly, Steve Hines, Daryl again. And who started off? Well, are we voting on Balls? Thank you very much. We appreciate the love and support of everything we do here at Disclosure tonight. Wes Stacker and Mike, I want to thank you for coming into the show tonight. Everyone in the back, our wonderful audience.
Oh, it was my pleasure. It was a fun conversation. It was a great show. I want to thank you for putting all of this together and the wonderful work that you do to make this show the success that it is.
Yeah, we always get down to it and we're looking at it saying, what the hell are we going to talk about today? But usually by the last minute, we pull it all together.
We do, and we have fun doing it, as does the audience.
It's our passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
We like it, and that's why we're good at it.
Absolutely, my friend. As we usually say at the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody, but
go back to Party City where you belong.
Absolutely. We'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, everybody. See you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.